the Cranky News.
Hi everybody, here we are for another exciting episode. I seem to be saying that a lot this week, and it's not finished yet. But we are here for the biggie. We all have just watched it. One delayed, I think, Ricky. But it's me, Ricky, and Steve. First, let's get that out of the way. How are you, boys?
Hello.
Yeah, okay.
We're fully into E3 now. We're like children at a Christmas party. Sadly, Aidan's not here. We said on the show on Sunday he has got commitments for both shows. He is really sorry he can't be here. But he is going to have input on Sunday. We will give him a little spot and to cover all the stuff that we've been covering. It's only fair. But we love to get these shows out as quick as anybody. We've done it for the last 10 years. And already we've had feedback from the show this morning that me and Ricky did from EA and Bethesda. So thank you for that, which is great. And this one should be up in a couple of hours. So you should be listening to it about 11. That's if I've not fell asleep, because I've had 3 hours sleep in, I think, 48. So I am hanging on. Just one thing this afternoon. I actually did something today I've never done. And I felt guilty at it, but I actually feel better that I did it. And I was talking to Ricky with it, and I shouldn't have done this because this was wrong of me. It was naughty. I actually ordered Domino's pizza at 3:15 in the afternoon.
Yes.
Because I'd not eaten, and I knew I wouldn't be eating later because I'm busy doing all this. And I thought, and I was really hungry because I've not had a decent meal for about 2
Did you have that
days.
whole thing?
I had, that picture I sent you.
Yeah.
I had a full pizza, mighty meaty, barbecue sauce on it, and chicken wings, and I sent him the whole picture. I've only ate half of it because even me, the big fat bugger that I am, can't eat a whole one of them.
For later.
I'll either have some later on, or I'll be sat watching PS4. But it was lovely. But the chicken wings were hotter than bloody hell.
I love those ones. They're really hot ones.
The barbecue spicy. And I must say, I'm not a spicy food man, and I have to say, I didn't like them, and I really nearly went with plain wings, but I've learnt a lesson. I only bought it because it was 50% off. Because I do say that Domino's, as gorgeous as it is,
they are the nice ones, but the more
is a joke.
expensive.
It's a joke. The price is actually should not be allowed, in my opinion. It's wrong. I'm just watching the Ireland game. That finished 1-1, didn't it, this afternoon? The old Ireland,
think so.
Ireland, Sweden, because I'd got a bet on an accumulator on Sweden winning, so I shot that. But anyway, let's carry on, guys. Let's get on with what we're here for. It is the Microsoft keynote. We have just watched it, and I can tell you right now, before we go on, there's going to be controversy coming, as always. What would this show be without controversy? And I'm saying that because Steve's had a bit of views before we've recorded. I have, Ricky has. I've looked at a Facebook post that's live at the minute with you guys, and it's going to be fun. So the way we do it, guys, as always, long-time listeners to this show will always realise we've wrote notes in chronological order, and I say it every year. I know we might miss something, and, it's just one of them things. It's live. It only finished an hour and a half ago. So anyway, I am going to start, actually, but not in chronological order of anything that happened in the show, but something that didn't happen in the show. And it's going to spoil it, I guess, but let's get it out of the way because nobody realised this. I've not heard anybody mention it until really after the show.
Yeah.
No Crackdown 3 mentioned at all, anywhere.
Yeah. They were showing that in the IGN before it started, weren't they? So I
must admit, that was probably the biggest surprise for me out of the whole thing.
Gamescom will be here.
They did say that one of their studios' games did exactly that a few years back. Everybody was expecting it to come at E3.
Yeah, Quantum Break did it, didn't it? That's
the one, Steve. Yeah, they said Quantum Break was all expected to go to E3. It never appeared, and it went big at GDC, which is clearly what they're aiming for. So, but it did. It surprised me. I've got to say, no Crackdown. I thought that would have been a headliner.
I didn't think about it while I was watching it, but yeah.
Nobody did. None of the big... we sat ages and nobody mentioned, and somebody just parked up in a corner and said, by the way, nobody's mentioned No Crackdown 3, and everybody went, oh yeah. Anyway, so the show kicked off with this thing that broke room-wise, and it really pisses me off, and there's been more leaks in this E3 than I think ever. And I'm actually quite happy that the Sony one this evening at 2 a.m, I've not heard anything. Except, obviously, the Neo, which I'm still sceptical about what's going to happen, because we'll come to that in a minute. But, the Xbox one for me, and we'll cover it because we've got all the stuff. their conference has been butchered by leaks, in my opinion. Me and you talked about it this morning, but anyway.
Yeah. So they started with a new.
They did. There was a big splash screen, a gorgeous thing come up, and things like that. We've got lots to cover. In my notes, it showed the new Xbox One S. It's a beautiful white. It's 40% smaller. It goes up to 2 terabytes. I've done a lot of research in the last hour that these guys haven't, and I'll come to that when I get the guys' opinions. I've looked at price. I've looked at SKUs, and I think it's going to shock you. We'll come to view, and I think we might have to bring in the end of the show news to join it in. I know it's a bit out of sync, but I think it ties in all together. But then again,
unless you want to leave the S to the end, and we go for everything else.
What, do you want to wait for the views to the end?
Yeah, go on, leave them to the end.
And we'll have us views on that. Do you want the prices now of this? I can give you that, because I think that's interesting. So they've talked about the S. I've seen videos after and watched it, and I will say, prior to me finding all this information out, I actually was interested in getting one. Because I don't like that monstrosity under my thing. I think it's an eyesore. I think it takes up too much space. And God, are we going to have a fanfare? The power box is inside the damn unit for a change. Amazing.
And the thing that impressed me...
it looks lovely.
It's that new controller with the old grips.
Here we go.
Bluetooth.
Bluetooth?
As soon as I saw that, I thought, that will work on Steam Link.
I thought of you with Bluetooth. So the new controller looks nice. It's got grooves on the bottom. It looks beautiful. It looks great. So prices, boys and girls.
Yeah, go on.
The SKUs that they're going to have, August is the release date, and I liked the thing until I went to Microsoft's actual store. So this isn't a crappy store. This is their official Microsoft shop. The SKUs are 500 gig, 1 terabyte, and 2 terabyte. So the 500 gig lowest one will cost £250. The 1 terabyte will cost $349. The 2 terabyte will cost $399. That is big. Wait, I haven't finished. The controllers. I know that one comes in the box, obviously. Okay, the controllers, the snazzy, flashy ones, $89.99.
Is this the ones where you can make your own design?
The 8 million designs, you are able to go on a site that's not gone live yet. You can design all 8 million different variations of colours. Again, I love that. I thought they looked great. You can have your gamer tag on it, which is an extra tenner if you want to chuck that on top. But did you see the beautiful, and we're giving slight spoilers out, but it's coming straight after, but it ties into this. They also showed a Gears of War 4 Elite controller.
Yeah,
looked beautiful. It does until you stick a price tag of $159.95 on it. It's a joke.
160 quid for a controller.
It's a joke. I'm sorry. There's no two ways about it. Whether it's a cheating controller or anything, nobody's mad enough.
If you're going to be a real hardcore fan, then maybe that's for you.
Steve, come on. 160 quid for a controller.
Yeah, if someone's got no money to say, I can spend what I want, and he's a real hardcore fan, he'll buy it.
Yeah,
I'm happy with mine being black.
That's taking it to the extreme. But let's be really serious. Everyday gamers, I mean, just listen to the prices that they're quoting already. 400 quid for a console.
These are retail recommended though, so they will come.
But down. I'm just quoting Microsoft Store.
Yeah.
And let me just say, you're saying retail price. When they deliver things like this at a keynote, they are accurate.
Yeah, wait till Game get their hands on it.
Well, this is it. I mean, we'll talk about the ins and outs of whys and wherefores later when we come to the other news. So let's crack straight on because we can talk about it in a while. I just think the prices that are quoted right now are ridiculous across the board. I really, really do. I was interested in buying one of these, and I won't. 1 out of cost and 2 for views later on.
Can I just ask, when did controllers get so expensive? I mean, they were creeping up to the 50 quid mark, and then I thought that was pricey.
The basic white one, by the way, Ricky, is $49.95.
Well, yeah, that's okay, and that's probably what most people have.
I think you can buy a PlayStation controller now in the store for 32 quid shopping around, and you can buy an Xbox Basic One controller for around the same price, I think, 35 quid. These SKUs at 50 quid and 160 quid. I know it's a specialist controller, but 80, 90 quid for a controller just with a few colours is...
The thing is, it is cross-platform with the...
It is now, yeah, we'll come to all that in a second.
It is the best controller on the market.
Yeah, without doubt. They've made
it... So they know this is like the Apple...
Just...
product of the Xbox range.
Did you know there's an Apple keynote happening right now as well?
Is it?
Yeah, I've had it in my inbox today.
I hope that wasn't the one I was looking at right now with a load of girls dancing on this floor at the minute.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I do want to say, it's coming out in August. We'll cover that. They are not available. I think they are available for pre-order on site. I'm not quite sure. It's only just gone live, and I looked straight after, so they will be changing. If you're mad enough to go and buy one, which we'll cover later, I will say the video I did watch. One little nice touch I did like. The way they presented this video that they didn't show on the stage floor, I don't think, is it showed you the original Xbox One sat on a table, and the video, lovely montage as it's very nicely polished does, came to the table and lifted it off. And it was like a shell of an Xbox One with the new one inside it. And it looked pretty cool. It comes with a vertical stand in the box as well.
Cool.
It's got the power, as we've discussed, inside the box. So you've literally got a controller, an Xbox One S, and one cable. That's all.
Yeah. Quite pleased it stands up right. I mean, because if I was in the market for a new one,
do you know
it's taking up so much space on my desk.
I've nowhere to put it though. Vertical.
I have. So it's also
so you're all right,
isn't it? Yeah. So I'm sorry.
Steve, what were you going to say?
Just move those a little bit. Discs in there spinning if you have one. Great.
Yeah, but they've been
I know.
If Microsoft are selling a vertical stand in the box, there's no way they've allowed mechanics inside it to screw discs up.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on with the show. We did talk about it. The very next thing that happened, Phil Spencer came on the stage as always, talked about a few stuff and introduced a guy that then talked about Gears of War 4. Yeah. They then showed some co-op live play on stage of a bit of a weird gameplay with a lot of stormy wind that kind of made the graphics look a bit strange until you got your head around it was blowing at them pretty strong. My views on it, as I've said all year, I've even wrote down in this, is Gears of War. I've seen nothing in that version that's going to excite me enough to go out my way and, be on top of my list. It is Gears of War 4. A lot of fans out there. What's your guys' views on Gears? We knew it was coming. As the gameplay made you want to buy it. Can I just stop? Because there's one important thing I've forgotten. And this is really important.
Yeah, go on.
They also stressed that every game coming out will be cross-compatible with PC, Windows 10 and Xbox. No further charge. You buy one copy and you can have it on both. But somebody's bought
you got to buy the digital version.
Well, this is what I'm about to say.
Somebody
raised a point saying that nobody ever addressed, and I think it needed addressing on stage. Somebody said, well, is it right if I buy the PC version then I get the Xbox one? If I buy the Xbox
I bet you don't.
Well, this is it. And this is the contentious issue already. It's not been clarified, but we know that it won't be PC at 29 quid against the 60
or £10 on key sites.
Of course it won't. So I think you're right. I think it's going to be a digital-only purchase, which is going to be a ridiculous price.
So this is going to be the leader towards the Windows rather than.
Yeah, this is it. But you see, that's another price point problem that Microsoft have swept under the carpet.
Yeah, but it's like that anywhere, though. I'll just say, when you buy one, buy three, you get. Pay for two and get a third one free, and then you got to pay for the two most expensive items. It's a very common market.
It is, but it's completely irrelevant here. They're trying to push. They're pushing the gaming market.
Buy the more expensive one, and you get the cheaper one for free.
Well, it is. I agree with that. Yeah, but
I think that's what it is.
Right, but at no point, and I'll tell you now, there'll be a lot of people out there thinking straight right now before they've listened to this or anything else. Oh, if I buy my Xbox One disc, I'll be able to play it on the Windows 10.
No.
Well, you don't know yet, because they've not clarified it. And I really hope there's nobody out there thinking I'm buying PC and playing on Xbox One, because that ain't happening.
Well, it's not been confirmed.
It hasn't.
But I mean, the logic.
I'm sure we'll hear over the next couple of days.
Yes,
it'll come out anyway.
The point is, what I'm trying to address before we go on is that and I'm glad they did it this way. I spoke to Steve earlier in the day that I hope they don't go full on Windows 10. This, I think it might have been you or Steve, I can't remember.
Yeah.
And I said, I hope they don't go full on Windows 10 and ruin the show. I'm pleased to say that that's how they addressed it. From then on the show, every time a game was being shown, it came on, before it came on the screen, compatible with Windows 10 and Xbox One, and that's how they did it. And to be honest, it was a lot, weren't it?
Yeah,
that's fine. They said that. They did say that a little while ago as well. That that's the way they wanted to move their platforms.
Yeah, we knew that was coming again. Yeah, we knew that.
So the thing is, right? It's all fair and square doing this.
I was going to ask this.
The average Xbox console gamer, do they have a Windows 10 PC capable of
running
Gears of War 4?
I'm so glad you brought this
and
up.
all the other ones. I mean, Steve, you probably, you might have now because you've just got a recent PC, but before, a year ago, you wouldn't have been able to run your Gears, would you? So what's the point in buying digital? You might as well get the box version.
Right, but can I ask an hypothetical, well, not hypothetical really, it's a question that I've seen people asking already on Twitter and on some of the internet. And you've hit the nail on the head. It's all right them sitting there saying all this greatness, it's cross-platform and that's... But like you've just hit, who is either going to have that way of playing?
Well, you and I.
Yeah, we are, but... but listen, but this is my point. I ain't bothered.
It's just, I think you're tied in to Xbox's $54.99
correct
price point in order to get
I'll tell you what,
version of on Windows 10 that you might not even want.
I'll tell you what then. This time next year, when it
might even be more expensive.
Right, this time next year, when it's kicked off for a while, how many games do you think you've bought on the Xbox One that you have physically sat down and gone out your way to play on your PC? Well, I don't think I will.
Okay, so they're appealing to someone like me who could potentially buy an Xbox One version, and then when I travel, have my Alienware on the road and pick up the same game.
It's made for you.
Perfect for that, and I actually really like the concepts.
But you've hit the big...
I don't think it hits the average gamer.
No, you've hit the big nail on the head by saying how many people out there have got a Windows 10 capable of running a game such as Gears of War 4.
So it's nice for those that have, but I don't think it's... I think you're looking at less.
It's irrelevant to yourself, but that's all good. They're just giving you that option.
It's the option. Yeah, that's what it's all about. I like that.
We need to just backstep before we finish. Yeah, we are, but we need to backstep just one step further. We've missed a very important point that I know a lot of people will be having a fit about.
What's that?
And I want to ask you, Per, this because I didn't quite get this. I've just hit bar.
Oh, dear me.
Sorry, I'm watching thing. It was terrible. The new S console.
Yeah.
It was quickly mentioned, but then not reiterated. They're stating that's 4K compatible.
Are they?
Yes. Yes.
Sure?
Yes.
Sure?
Without shadow of a doubt. It's in my notes.
It was the one at the end.
No. 4K in this new one, which I can't work that out.
Nah. You must have
Listen to me now. While I'm talking, type in Microsoft.com, go to the store, look at the console, and read the specs. It says,
so you're seeing it in front of you. All right.
It's 4K. Steve's seen it as well, because we both mentioned it. It's 4K, and it's on the Facebook page from the guys who's actually got...
Why would you need a Scorpio?
Well, we'll talk about that later. We'll cross that. But I just want to bring that 4K is in there, but like I've just said to you, it wasn't kind of pushed at you. It was just quickly read in the specs. Because I sat there and said to myself, did he just say 4K? And I thought, surely not. It didn't make sense. But anyway, because am I being wrong in saying if it's 4K compatible, it's got to be more powerful? Or am I just being technically...
It's just the output.
Is it just an output? It makes no difference how the power is then? Am I being a bit thick and all that?
I mean, we're not talking another machine with more...
So why...
Here, but they're given the options of be able to have 4K output.
So we're not into technological TV signals and all that, so I don't, make no bones about that. I'm no expert.
4K telly.
Yeah, but the point is, why all the talk of the new consoles by both firms being 4K compatible if this one is? This is what is a bit confusing in my head. Why have they all gone out the way to say 4K, especially PlayStation have gone 4K TV compatible, and then the new Xbox One and they're saying 4K brilliant, powerful machine. So why are they now saying it about this S? It's a bit confusing, don't you think?
It is. Well,
we'll talk about it later because we've got things to address. Gears of War 4, guys, final thoughts on it. Is it a biggie for you? Did it light your fire? Or was you just...
I'd like to play it.
Yeah, I would as well. I think it was some nice... I like that ricochet gun. He was playing... He was throwing these sort of sword discs. Yeah,
they were razzing through them.
And that was pretty cool.
That did look good.
Graphically looked nice. I mean, this is the first Gears really... built on the new console.
It's Gears again, though, isn't it?
The last one's
it's Gears, and it's what it says it's on the tin.
It is. Yeah. They said it's cross-play. All forms of cross-play as well, across PCs and Xbox. We shall hear that a lot. It's virtually everything that came out, basically.
Yeah, anyway, I find the story a little bit.
And what about at the very end when he kept the old dad there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm not well up on my Gears knowledge. I didn't know who the guy was, but it got a cheer in the audience. The boss looked quite cool at the end of
the clip. Yeah. He kind of looked like he had bacon stripped all over it. It looked like the flesh had come off him, so you could see all the muscle.
In the notes, I've got just a few pics. They showed co-op support for both Xbox and even Horde mode as well, which is, I think they said every mode is cross-play.
It's going to be the biggie of the year. I think this.
Do you think so?
Yeah, for exclusives for Xboxes. I mean, like we had Quantum Break, and I don't think that hit the nail. Okay. This will, I think.
Okay. October the 11th is the release date this year, and that's when they then showed the nice picture of the Xbox Gears Elite controller of 100 and God knows what pounds, and that was Gears of War done. They then quickly moved on to one that got a few cheers. It was Killer Instinct. Guy came on stage and pleasantly announced to everybody, tied into Gears as well, their next free character available free for everybody from next week. If you're into your Killer Instinct, it is Ram from Gears of War.
Yeah, General Ram.
Who was a pain in the ass in that game, I remember.
Yeah, it was a Gears 1, wasn't he, on the train?
It was. Not on the train. It was also in that room at the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
You went through them 2 doors, and it was a long room, and I got my ass handed to me many, many times on there. Anyway, then another video cracked up, and everybody was looking at it and looking and seeing it, and I spoke to Ricky earlier. I got this news leaked to me about 20 minutes before. Sorry, you asked.
Really?
I know I asked. Yeah.
I knew this. Yeah, it was all over. It was over the internet.
I didn't know, but when I could see what it was, I knew what it was.
It was everywhere, and I broke the news to Ricky, and he come on and said, "Oh, tell me then, what's the leak?" And I said,
"Yeah, what did it spoil?"
Yeah, well, there you go. And it was, of course, Forza Horizon 3. Beautiful bit of gameplay. Again, pushing this crossplay. They did a very decent stage show with 4 people. 1 guy on a high-end PC with a steering wheel, 1 guy on the S, 1 guy on the Xbox One, and I think the lady was on a normal Xbox. I think. Oh yeah, awesome.
Play a campaign though.
What they did, they showed these 4 people playing their separate games, and then what they reiterated on that in one button, one of the guys on stage sent a request to co-op with one of them. 1 button press again, brought them all 4 together. They then melded on the map and then actually turned it into a race to the beach. Looks gorgeous, looks lovely. Most cars in Forza game, they've said yet again. September the 27th, and it auto-synced when it co-opted. It looked really snazzy. It seemed to work very well. I must admit, I've a bit bashed on Forza recently.
What's the date of this?
Let me just go down my notes to September the 27th for Forza Horizon 3. Very early, very quick.
Okay.
I've got to say, I bashed on Forza a bit lately, saying they bring in too many out and this, that, and the other. I'm a Forza Horizon fan. I've said that on the show. This really looked nice. It did get me excited.
Australia's completely different, isn't it?
Australia's got so many climates, Steve. It's got forests, it's got tracks, it's got roads, it's got beaches, and I think it was an ideal place for them to do it. It does look good, and they are emphasising on a lot of co-op mode, playing together, playing friends together, and this cross-platform yet again. I will be getting that. Will you guys? Are you into that?
Yeah, I will. I love Forza 2. I was very late to the party on that, and I'm quite pleased that I now have played it and can get excited for this.
It does look good.
Do you think it'll have more legs than 6? Because we all got 6.
Yeah, completely different game, isn't it? Don't forget. 6 is a track game. Horizon is a road game.
I know, but
they're different animals.
We'd all had our half hour, and then
because they're different animals, though, aren't they?
Yeah,
it's a completely different game.
Six just advertised some new online championships that they're going to be doing as well. So,
are they?
This will be going for another year fully.
But you see, 6 is a racing game on track. You race tracks and go and win races. This is an open world road game with quests, completely different. That's why. When I meant to say actually a few weeks ago, you know, when I pushed the idea to everybody and said, "Look, why don't they merge the 2?" I got no end of emails from people saying you want to send that to Microsoft because it's the best idea I've ever heard.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I do like my Horizon. Next thing on the notes, Recore. This was being touted by a lot of the big boys to be a big announcement at the show, which had been shown before. It looked very nice, but it was a very short and sharp video, and it was here and
just
gone.
The indie game. I missed the name of it, and I couldn't quite.
Well, I've got Recore.
I know it is Recore.
It's not. I don't think it's the one.
I wrote down Eden.
I don't think it's the one you think for later, because there's one later that really stole the show, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah, I think you know what I'm talking about. Yep. So Recore was basically done pretty quickly. I've heard a few negative thoughts about the next thing that was showed. It came on.
Date, by the way?
I haven't got Recore, Steve.
September the 19th.
Oh God, it's from September to October now. We're mad, aren't we? Basically, your life's over from July, I think.
Yeah, you said that earlier, didn't
you? Then again, no, sorry, we've got No Man's Sky in August. I forgot that one. Anyway, Recore. Then we moved on to, as I've just said, this one got received a bit crappily after, I've got to say, for saying it didn't look as good as it
The demo wasn't that good recently.
No, this is it. The Final Fantasy 15 was being pushed on stage. It apparently was the first ever gameplay of co-op mode, and it's showing you the trailer of Titan. It's showing you a battle that looked not finished. I know it's not out for a while.
I think was it a big boss? So it's one of those ones.
It was a big boss that come out. You had to save yourself for a minute until some people arrived, and it was like really weird, and it didn't look good. It was like a Titan, weren't it?
Yep.
And it says that what they was going to do on stage was a demo of one called The Trial of Titan, apparently to show how fluid the battle system was. Well, I didn't think it did that very well at all. It is, and it's got
I didn't really. It just looked like what I was doing in that demo that I didn't like the other
I have wrote something in my notes here actually straight after this, and I want to ask you guys who were watching.
What about the guy who looked knackered?
No, not that. I put in the notes in blocks. Guy. I've put, yeah, he did. He looked a bit
terrible.
I wrote in the notes in big bold writing. The feed I'm watching, which was IGN's YouTube, constantly keeps moving to wide shot, and it's pissing me off. I've wrote in my notes. Did you get that?
No, I didn't.
No, I had the Xbox.
And that's, whenever they were showing a demo then, did it stay on screen 100% of the time?
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Jesus Christ. The feed I was watching, I've wrote it 2 or 3 times in my notes, they kept showing a video and then cutting to the stage. And I'm having to look like I'm sat in a seat, and I'm thinking, it's not VR.
No, it did. I know what you mean. So you could see the people playing.
Instead of me watching it full screen, they literally jump back and we're back on stage watching the video that we should be watching full screen.
Yeah.
Drove me mad.
Makes me chuckle whether they bring up the guys with controllers in their hands. They're not playing.
No, I don't think they are. I don't.
They can't be. No, not after the messes. The mess.
And be fair, the live show, isn't it? Yeah. September 16th, we all knew about that as well. Just one quick mention.
No, September 30th.
Oh, I've got 16th on there. I must have heard different. What I will say, wasn't the stage set up weird with them people at the front?
Oh yeah, it was like mosh pit.
It was like some school kids in a mosh pit sat down.
I think that was part of the fan fest people that were probably invited, wasn't it?
Can I just say something? I would not have liked to have been sat there looking at that screen because there was about 4 inches away from it.
Plus, they had to look behind them to see the bloke. People stood up
because he was stood in the middle, wasn't he? And it was a weird setup.
It's the sort of thing Metallica do.
Yeah, strange. Anyway, moving on. A very good clip. It looked really cool, this didn't I? I had no idea what it was because I was brain dead. Ubisoft was being touted, and I looked at the video and I thought, Christ, this looks fantastic. And I thought, what's this? And when it came out at the end, it's just a DLC update for Division called The Underground. That looks
a bit odd. Why include that? Why not stick that in the Ubisoft?
Because they've got to give their their main platform as something.
They're too busy with Ghost Recon right now, so that's why.
Oh, is that it? I'd heard that was coming. I heard big talk.
I'm just surprised Xbox allowed this on their main showpiece.
Well, yeah, but it ties in because
we're not getting any Skyrim. We have had that in the Bethesda one.
No, but listen,
Ubisoft have got their own ones.
Right, but the next stage answers the question. They've got to give third parties, first parties time on the big consoles. After all, that's their business. And the next thing that came on stage was a clip from Battlefield 1.
Yeah, which
we'd already seen the day before.
I'd skip through that. So.
Yeah, exactly. We'd seen it the day before.
Known about EA Access, so that's why I listened.
Yeah, but we'd seen the EA show, and we'd seen exactly the same, but they've got to show to their parties, haven't they? That's the thing. Anyway, basically then Mike Ibarra come on stage. He was a big guy at Microsoft, and he was talking about backwards compatibility, which I have to say, talking for the rest of the show, that was the only time backwards compatibility was mentioned. Not even any games that's coming out.
Twice it was mentioned, wasn't it?
But there was nothing specific mentioned, and that's another disappointment.
Well, when we talk about Tekken, yeah, but...
Oh, wow, yeah, oh, yeah.
That's the same.
Sorry, I've got that in big bold letters down below.
I'll talk about that big dude later, but yeah.
No, but you know what I mean? I mean, this backwards compatibility, they've gone mad about it for 2 years, and then you've got a stage to tell us what's coming, or some really good notes, and they don't say bugger all. But anyway,
there was such a massive bit of news last year that won the show. That won those 2 words last year.
Which one?
Backwards compatibility.
Oh yeah.
That stole the show. That
won
the show for Xbox.
They've killed it this time.
This year they've got
anyway. But he came on and he said there's new stuff. Background music's coming, which raised a cheer, which is a strange one. I'm not one for playing background music while I'm playing games.
You don't know that because you haven't been able to yet.
Yes, I can. I can do it on Spotify.
Yes,
on my PS4.
PS4, we
can. It's still gaming and background music. But
the problem is when you do it on Spotify, it lags when you're skipping through menus and stuff on PS4. Yeah,
but if you've got a playlist, I've got a massive playlist of about 30 songs, my favourite songs. I crack that up, put the game on, and I just can't do it. I've tried it twice.
I suppose the Xbox will stream through your PC.
No idea.
You might be able to just put a CD in and put the music on there. Like
you don't know yet. Again,
that's a bit old school.
It is, because they did say your own music as well. I think was talked in that little segment. Yeah. They also mentioned language packs for people that obviously don't speak the native tongue and they want their own languages across Xbox, and also Cortana, which we're fortunate enough to be using right now. I've had a play with it.
Can you tell me why you're so hyped up for this? Because we've got it on the Windows 10.
It's not hype. You've got to think I've got no Xbox Connect anymore, have I?
So
right?
Yeah, but
listen. I just wanted. I'd seen Major Nelson's video, okay, of the new dashboard, and and this is what I want to ask Steve. Actually, we're slightly digressing, but we'll get through it quickly. I've got the thing because Steve, I think, got it a few days before me. I watched my Major Nelson, and if you actually go and watch Major Nelson's clip on this new system, which, by the way, the operating system and the layout is fantastic. They've finally got their arses in gear and done something decent. But Cortana works with microphones. What made me laugh in that video, and I know I'm being negative, but it just really made me chuckle. The guy himself, the actual head tech who's done all this, actually said it works quite well better with a microphone. And I sat there and said, yeah, no shit it does, because the other one don't listen to your voice properly. And I just had to have a dig. But anyway.
I've been using it recently.
Well, can I just say, I've used the microphone of a 99p headset with an inline mic, and it's worked flawlessly.
So what are you asking it to do?
This is what I want to ask.
The Connect.
Well, Cortana is an operating system in itself, isn't it? She can do anything.
So I can ask Cortana to turn the Xbox on.
Right, this is it. And there's a new voice command.
When it's off?
What you say, it's, hey, Cortana, whatever.
So it's listening when it's off.
What my downfall is on it, and I think it's just not working quite right at the minute, and that's just as a basic system.
There's a few bugs in
There is, because it's a preview build. Now, what I'm saying is, whenever I saw Major Nelson say, hey, Cortana, what's Major Nelson doing? And it literally put his profile up, showed what he was playing and everything like that. And I tried it with you two guys. Hey, Cortana, whatever.
Okay.
Every time I asked Cortana a question, all it did was open a sidebar from Bing's search engine. I've not got it to do basic things that video showed. I got it. I got it to start Diablo.
Yeah,
hey, Cortana, start Diablo. That worked. But the things that was showing you on that video don't seem to be working just yet. But like we say, it's a preview build.
Don't get it. What's the difference? On Connect, we can go Xbox, play Diablo.
No, you can't anymore.
Oh, they stopped that.
Cortana takes their place.
Yeah, that's it.
But, okay.
But the reason...
But it still hasn't brought anything new to the party. You just say a different name. Instead of
apparently it's way, way better. It's more intelligent. We know how these voice things work. Yeah, of course it is. We know how much these voice commands have taken over the world, haven't they? They're big news, and they're more intellectual now, supposedly. But anyway, I just wanted to try it, and it works fine. Or it does the voice actual speaking. She's got every word right. That is what I'm saying. Anyway, moving on. The next big thing as well after
Hang
that.
on. You're missing the you're going to talk about the engineering guy and what else?
Yes, I'm coming to that right now.
Sorry. Okay.
LFG, come on.
The other three things he spoke about.
Thank you. All right,
yes, it's in my notes. He carried on with three things that was a really bit weird, but some good stuff. But what he said was there were three most requested features by Xbox members, which quite surprised me because some of them are okay, but we'll cross them and get your views, guys. He mentioned clubs as number one, which basically is a place where you can create communities on your favourite games. Basically, it's similar to what the thing is on the PS4. Yeah, it's been on there for ages.
So we have a Cranky Club, that's what it is.
There's one on PS4. It's quite popular, actually. It does quite well. I've got to say, I'm not too bothered about it. It's nothing. I don't know what you guys think. Are you up on it?
Yeah, I watched the one on the PS4 for a couple of weeks, but I rarely check it. I don't know.
It's one of these things that just don't interest me on any console.
Yeah.
But the other one's more important, though.
Well, yeah, let's come to that. And the next one, looking for group. If you're basically on your system, you can click a button and you want to join in a group, say, for Division or Destiny. You need to go and battle a big boss. You've got no friends, or you're a sad git, or none of your friends are around. You can press a button and look for group, and this basically searches for like-minded people that want to play the game you want to play.
But so it works in... You need the inverse of that. You need people to be promoting themselves as...
Well, of course you do. It's all integrated into it.
And offering the group out.
Correct. The next one, I thought,
I'm not that impressed.
No, I'm not. Again, no, I wasn't. Again, it's not. No. But it's the same thing. If it's not for you, you're not going to be impressed. Yeah, it's not for me. Exactly.
That's why even in Destiny, they were. People were asking for LFG, and you can go to a website for it.
But the point is, well, this is it. For you, Steve, it could be fantastic.
Yeah, so for example, now they're like, there's an LFG app within the Destiny app, so you can go on there looking for people to do a strike or whatever. You know?
Well, this is it, and this is what, for the right people, it works fine.
Yeah.
Cool. The next one was Arena Tournament Platform. This looked pretty cool for anybody who wants to play a kind of arena sports. You can play single, you can play together, you can play teams, and it basically lets you put your skills against people in kind of arena background. Don't know how it's going to work. It looked pretty cool in the background. They also then finished that little montage by saying that EA Sports have said that they are going to join this arena tournament in later months, probably next year, I think was touted, and bringing games into the arena such as FIFA. So that's when it becomes more popular, obviously, when the big games and the big guys get involved. So is that something you would play? Would you jump on your Xbox and think, arena, I want to go and play somebody that I want to go and play a random that I don't normally do because I don't like doing that, but I now want to do it in this arena?
Maybe I need a bit more info, but it feels in FIFA you can just go and look for an online game.
Well, this is it.
It's the same thing.
This is it. But it's in
does arena mean like championships?
It is, yes. It's like tournaments. It's basically tournaments for games. Yeah. If you looked at the stage, they should have actually shown a proper screenshot of it. But on the background, in the background of the stage shot, was an actual picture of the arena, and it looked pretty cool. But it might be something I'll look into.
Yeah, I mean, like Twitch has got a lot. I mean, if it's streaming, I don't know.
But this actually organises arena sports. This organises matches for certain games.
It's quite cool to like hook up your the Xbox app on your tablet.
Yeah,
watch a bit of arena.
But you know what? But you've just covered something there again that I don't think anybody else has thought of, and you've just hit it again. So, this kind of arena, what they're talking and promoting. All online games have got that within their own systems anyway.
I know.
So why? I suppose it's tied into one place. Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, I suppose it's like it's like going onto Twitch and deciding what game you want to view. Except it's like going onto Arena and deciding what game you want to play.
Yeah.
So there we go. Then I've got to say, I don't know what you guys thought. I think every year we get like a cringeworthy time on stage, and then the Minecraft people come on.
Now this is the first one.
The Minecraft people came on stage and they was talking about crossplay on every platform now, Android, iOS, everything's tied together.
This is the show.
Yeah, which is later, isn't it?
Let me chuckle.
What, she didn't actually mention Xbox, did she?
No, all the main features are on Windows 10, Android, and iOS. There's nothing for Xbox.
Really?
Not for another year yet.
Yeah, so they spent 10 minutes fanning around on some Realm thing.
They're showing this new thing called Realms. There's an update.
But that's been on Windows and iOS with coming soon on it for about 18 months now.
Are you sure it's not on Xbox?
Yeah.
No, they said Xbox would be coming later in the year.
Right.
But
they mentioned an update that's coming now for everybody called a friendly update.
Yes.
Right.
And Realms as well.
Realms,
but not on Xbox yet.
Friendly update's separate to Realms. Friendly update's happening now, today, or the next few days. That's when everybody can play together.
Their friend when they're not online.
Yes, correct.
So use their universe.
Yes, correct. That's tied together. No, then Realms is separate. It was two separate animals. I've got them in notes that are completely separate. Yes. Steve, back me up. They said friendly update's coming now.
Yeah, they did.
Realms is next year.
Yeah.
Or later in the year. Two separate things.
Okay. We might need to check that one out again.
No, I'm right.
Well, you're always right.
I know
I'll bow down, and then I'll accept your apology in the morning. Right?
Well, do I get an apology back later when you check?
No, never.
No, I know that. Anyway, Oculus. Then one of the guys in this realm had got Oculus on. That looked pretty cool.
Yeah, it did.
I must admit,
a couple of grand.
It looked a bit throwy uppy. I've got to say,
£7 Minecraft game.
Was he really playing it, or was he just standing?
No, he was. He did look like I was watching his head, and it looked like he was moving within time to that game. So I think that was real. Then they announced texture packs. They showed some city in a new texture pack, and that looked. But
that's going to appeal to the.
It is, but I've wrote in my notes, right, at bottom of all this Minecraft, and it went on for a good 5-10 minutes, and I've wrote at the bottom, Crowd don't seem very excited. Has it had its time for our generation?
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is, because the crowd sent dull as dishwater.
Yeah, they were a little.
They were trying to really push this, and this is one of them cringeworthy moments where you feel a little bit sorry for them. They're really trying to push themselves, and they're excited, and the crowd are just sat there thinking...
the thing is, they'd come along to see all these big snazzy things about Xbox, right? And the whole thing, the two people on stage, one had a Microsoft Surface, and I had an Apple iPad. To show that you can play cross squid on it, and I think that's probably why.
But don't you think I'm right though? Don't you think Minecraft is now for, like you say, it's for your kids? They're into it way more than we ever was.
Absolutely.
Yeah. They then showed a montage video of that new controller again. Bit of a weird place to stick it in. They'd already covered it earlier.
Yeah, they showed the design.
They showed all the designs. They showed 8 million colours. There is some lovely looking things.
It's cool until you say it's £90.
It is, mate. Then it goes right out the window.
Because you say, your daughter, how get your new controller?
Just get it out the window. Forget it.
10 years of pocket money.
Can I just... it sounds like I'm moaning again, but you're right. It looked lovely. The video sells at you. You just look at it. You think to yourself, I watched that and thought, that orange one looks gorgeous. I'd like one. Look at the store. It's £89.
I think they're trying to get the old Apple kind of thing.
Why is it? But listen, I've got all this... I've always been a sceptical person with purchases and cost of things. And I've always said, wouldn't you rather sell 10 million items at £1 or 1 million items at 50? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've always said that.
People like to personalise this stuff. It's the same when you bought an iPhone and you had your name etched on the back.
Yeah, but that name is an extra £10. It's not compulsory. The controller itself's 70, 80 quid on its own. What I'm saying is, I know for a fact that us three sat here now, that's a push for us at the minute. We've all got controllers that we like to use. They do the same thing, for God's sake. Steve, you've got an Elite. That's what you wanted. It's great. You saved up. You got what you really wanted. What I'm saying is, I know for a fact, sat here, that video was lovely. It excited us all. And then they didn't put the price up, which obviously the reason they didn't. But you know, if I'd seen that price at $35.99, I'd have pre-ordered one of them tonight.
Yeah.
And I think we all would have done.
Yeah,
that's the point. Why are they trying to price? And Xbox have got a very big history of pricing things really expensive. And it's bugged me for years. The hard drives on top. The others, all the things are expensive, unnecessarily so, and it drives me mad.
But if it's the case, if that is right and people don't buy them, they realise they made a mistake.
Do you know what though, Steve? You know what the bloody chestnut is though, mate? Silly sods keep buying them. Of course they do. When was the last time you saw Microsoft put price down?
They'll sell.
Those
little buggers on YouTube.
Ricky went to buy. You went to buy one of them adapters the other day.
Yeah.
It was 25 quid.
Amazon, 25 in game.
Jesus.
Because we didn't do a show this week, I didn't tell you, Steve. I told Toz, didn't I?
Yeah, go on.
Bloke in game was well rude to me.
I'd have gone mad at this.
Because,
really?
Because it was $15.99 on Amazon, right? So I wandered into town. I was going to the bank anyway to sort some stuff out. Wandered into game because I got 35 quid on a game voucher. And I thought, okay, I'll pick one up.
So you had actually got enough money to cover it.
It's actually 17 quid on their website. So I thought, okay, I'll pay a few pound more. Get it now. Walked in there, $24.99. I said, "Do you know it's 15 quid on Amazon?" And he went, "Well, go and get it from there then." That's what he told me. I walked out. I was the only person in the shop.
But you know, if you've just said you'd seen it on Game's website at 17 quid, you could have showed him that, and he has got to sell it.
They don't bow down. I've done it before. I've shown them on the website. Yeah, but he goes, but that's the web special deal.
That's bullshit. That is.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've heard
and
that
that's
before.
why. And I looked around the shop and I saw it was empty, and I thought, there you go. They've already closed 2 in Southampton recently. There's another one.
Do you know what? Like I said to you, I would actually write a letter of complaint about that. I think it's disgusting.
Next time I go into that shop, it'll probably be because everything's for £1.
Closing down sale.
Outside playing his guitar with his hat on the floor.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway, rant over.
Yes, let's move on. There was a very, very big video clip from the creators of Limbo Next. I've wrote this down. They also said Limbo was free for everybody.
Yeah, I got out this afternoon because that popped up on Facebook.
Do you know what? That actually popped up on my Xbox on its own first thing this morning at 10 o'clock.
Did it?
Without me,
you probably already owned
without me touching it. You know, in your notifications on the side panel, it was in there saying Limbo is now ready to play.
Weird.
So there you go.
Did you get much from the actual game? I mean, because the
new game what was it called? Because I've had a typo here.
Inside. It was like
Inside, yeah.
Like some people sat around in an office doing nothing, and then some bloke come out and said, "It's the best game I've ever played. It's a masterpiece."
Right. Oh, can I just say something?
Thank you. Show us some gameplay then.
It's out on June the 29th.
I don't even know what it's about.
But can I just I'm glad you've said this. It did look kind of Limbo-y, that kind of dark, shady, graphics. But I am just going to say something that one of the IGN guys on the after show gave this as his best game of this entire show for one reason. He's been fortunate enough to been given a pre-build to be playing it. And he said, I've not been able to talk about it because of obviously E3 coming up. Okay. And he said, it's an amazing game.
Well, what is it?
I don't know. No idea.
So some bloke who's been given a free copy says it's an amazing game. Another guy from Xbox says it's a brilliant, best game he's ever played, masterpiece.
Well, guess what?
Come on.
I'm guessing it's pretty good then, don't you think? No, but do you know what I mean? It's going to be good, innit? You've got top journalists saying...
Let's just be sceptical at the moment.
Yeah, but there's a better game coming.
But can I just say, anyway. I am going to say something. I actually think I'm going to get that.
Can I also say something?
Go on.
I didn't like Limbo, so...
No, Limbo. The reason you don't like Limbo is because it was a bloody hard game.
No, I just didn't like it.
I got a lot... yeah, but that's like critically acclaimed as one of the best games of the last generation.
I just didn't like it.
I thought it was a great game. Tough.
It's innovative as well in the way it was,
This is it. It was different. It was one of them little indie titles that was different. But the Inside game did look of the same ilk. But I'm with you, Ricky. If you're going to try and sell a game that's coming out in a few weeks, I'd have liked some proper gameplay.
Hyperbole at the moment. Well, just
if your game's coming out in 2 weeks' time, and they've not shown it anybody yet, do you not think prime time to show us some gameplay? Yeah. What they did, they showed a massive clip next time for a real, and I tested to my typing skills here. If I've missed any off this list, please correct me, because I actually
just grabbed a couple of them.
I typed like a madman.
I couldn't write as quick as they were coming on the screen.
There was some, I must say, that people were disappointed after, because some people touted these little quick video montages. A few of the games in it, people thought they was going to go to town on and actually cover quite heavily. Cuphead, obviously the big one. That was at the top of the list. That was the only place you saw or heard about it. Outlast, Deliver Us to the Moon, Far, Slime Rancher, DayZ, Shadow Tactics, Culling, Beacon, Stardew Valley, Below, Raiders, and Yooka-Laylee was another big touted indie title that was thought to be shown in the show. And that's about it.
I got one you missed.
Yeah, well, there's one you're going to talk about next.
Yeah, I'm going to get that in a minute.
Did you get what, Hand of Fate 2?
No, I missed that one.
We had a free game of that, didn't we, on Xbox?
We did, and it was quite...
It was quite nice. Hand of Fate 2.
Good fun game, mate. Also, they talked at the end of that, the Ark game that was a pre-build, that's been free on Windows 10 now for everybody who owns it. We then moved on. I don't think I'm missing anything. They're showing a clip of a game then that looks fantastic. It went on, I typed in my notes, this looks a bit Bioshocky.
That's all I was thinking.
Do you know what I've written exactly that?
This looks a bit Bioshocky.
Also, just before you do say this, this is they're going to give this to us on the preview play, aren't they?
Yes.
That's what this feature was all about.
July the 26th.
And when they dragged this bloke out, I thought, hey, this must be worth.
It's called We Happy Few, and it's a really dark, dank, weird world. And it just was brilliant. It looked really good.
It freaked me out a little bit, though.
It was, and that end bit of it on the trailer, where it's obviously he was taking these pills that were called happy pills, hence We Happy Few. He thrown his in the bin, and he was having like an episode, and he walked around this again looked like Bioshock inside a place. And this woman come to him and says, "Have you took your happy pill?" And he says, "Yes, I have," and he hadn't. And went into this room, and there was a party, and there was bashing this pinata. And they asked him to have a bash, and then he bashed it. And as he bashed it, blood went everywhere. And he looked round, and it turned into a dead rat that they all started eating. And she turned round and said, "You've not had your happy pill." And she said, "What did they call him? You're a
downer? A
downer, yeah." He says, "Oh my God, you're a downer." And then that kicked off sirens and police come running. The good thing about this, it was British based, if you didn't all realise.
Yeah,
British voices, it looked like
the
British.
Americans actually quite liked that idea.
They did. They loved the British nuance of it, like a 50s vibe.
It was very Bioshock Infinite, wasn't it?
It did. That's
just slow build up, and then all of a sudden the crowd turn on you.
Do you know?
And then the game starts, and it's.
If they'd have carried on showing that clip, and at the end of that clip, then gone Bioshock, whatever.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's some people
that work with it.
Because even the icons that were coming up around the screen, like press X to stand and things like that, looked
really like Bioshock. We've probably sat here and it's like got the two designers from Bioshock Infinite made it. But anyway, it was, to me, obviously we'll talk about it later, but that was one of the biggest things on the show for me. I just was sold with that straight away.
IP, looked
lovely.
Good.
This is what we want. New
Got
IPs, brand new games, not the same tripe you're shoveling out, just new stuff.
Everything you said before, once some of it's really good, we knew about it, and it's where we've been before.
It is.
So I know there's a couple of indie games that was a bit dismissive about just a minute ago, but
talking of stuff that we knew about, I again spoiled this. I may have done on last night on this morning's show. So if you've been fortunate to listen to this show, they knew the guy come on from CD Projekt Red, obviously Witcher, and I knew this was coming. He then showed a great standalone version of Gwent. I said to Ricky this morning that I think I've played Gwent twice in The Witcher, but apparently it created a massive following, some real freaks on it. They actually made their own decks, apparently. It's rife around the world. But they've now bought the single player. I was very surprised, though. You can actually register for the beta at playgwent.com, and the beta's in September, and it's not coming out till next year. That quite surprised me. Did seem a long...
It's probably going to come out on all, isn't it?
And this is it. I don't think if I missed this, I'm not sure. They didn't mention what formats, I don't think.
So you're assuming both then?
I'm assuming it, yeah.
And these and iOS.
I think it might be on iOS and it might be on PS4, because I'll tell you why. Obviously, I think it kind of gave it a bit of an Xbox exclusive, obviously with the beta. I think that's where it's coming. But I mean, for me, card game, is it really? Again, we talked about it this morning. We don't know. Then this big thing that Steve obviously liked came on stage. Two very strange Japanese gentlemen.
That Japanese dude on the right was funny as hell.
He was mega in his kimono thing, like samurai robe and stuff. And he came on, obviously, he showed a great clip of, brought back memories, actually, the only fighting game that I could actually play half decent. And obviously, we're talking about Tekken 7. It's coming early 2017. They showed the single player story mode, which looks quite cool. But what they did, if you didn't hear this, guys, they are offering for everyone who's on Xbox Gold. And I think I'm going to sign up for Xbox Gold, by the way. And do you know why? Because I can't play Halo Wars 2. Anyway, free copy of Tekken Tag 2 to every Xbox Gold members I think it's out right now if you want it. Go and grab it.
Yeah.
Might have a bash of that. I used to like Tekken in its day. Then a big clip come for what a lot of people I've heard since the after show was their game of this session, and it was a great video. It looked fun. I love the music. It was playing an old-fashioned Christmas song in the background. Looked really cool. Again, this had been leaked to me, so it wasn't exciting to me.
This on our Facebook.
Dead Rising 4. Holiday 2016, so it's out this year again, yet another one. A lot of people, I think IGN touted it as this could be Xbox's big November title, which I kind of queried. I don't think it will.
I don't think it will.
For me, I'll get your two views. I'm not a big fan of Dead Rising, never have been. They did a very weird, strange thing with Dead Rising 3. They gave a free game, didn't they? So you could play it for a couple of levels and then let you play get the full game. I just wasn't bothered about it at all.
Nah.
Is it for you? Steve, you're a fan though, aren't you?
I did. I've had fun with them in the past, but isn't this going to be a reboot? I'm not sure.
It's brand new.
It is.
It's called Dead Rising 4, but can I just say, I think where you're coming from, Steve, it looked identical, mate, to the other.
Yeah, no, this is
the launched one. Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm thinking, no, that'd be good. And the idea of being at Christmas time, that was funny as hell. Just listen to that music.
The music, I love it. It's when Fallout do that 50. I'm a big, I know this is sad and horrible. I'm really into 50s and 60s music. I was often said when I was older, I was born in the wrong era. I love 50s and 60s music. It's what my Spotify's full of. And I love when they do these. And I think it adds great atmosphere. I'll never forget the Fallout one when it came out the bus that time. That was one of the best clips I've ever seen. But yeah, Dead Rising 4, not for me, but apparently it is for a lot of you guys. You quite like it. Then came on stage, head of Microsoft Publishing, talks of originals. I don't know what your guys' views. I wrote this down, which was probably kind of negative, I guess. But she talked about we take pride in originals being on the machine, and then said we've released 13. And I thought, isn't that pretty low? for an Originals, or is that
we need to talk PlayStation.
Well, this is it. I was going to compare it to PlayStation, not as a dig. I just thought Air saying 13 sounded kind of low.
Well, maybe it's only been out a couple of years, isn't it? So.
Yeah, they're just talking about developers, going more into bringing games and different IPs, aren't they?
She basically went on again and covered.
And all that was leading up to was the way to lead up to Scalebound.
Well, this is it. Scalebound came on. Now, everybody, if you didn't know this was the big E3 one from last year that then came on stage. It was the big guy who's got a dragon in tow, looked outstanding. The clip from last year's show was fantastic, got everybody excited. The sad news came out a few months ago that it had been kicked back to 2017 because it was due out this year. So Scalebound came out, they showed a video, and they showed, he touted it before it came on screen to say, I'm now going to show you gameplay against the biggest ever boss battle you've ever seen on screen.
And he weren't lying.
And he wasn't lying. It looked fantastic. However, I want your views on this because I've got mine. I've got 3 or 4 other guys I've seen after, and I've watched another couple of things since. They actually panned this video, saying the gameplay looked awful.
Okay. So say what I wrote.
Come on, yep.
Okay, I wrote, look nice, massive boss fight, looks a bit hack and slash, not much skill required, might be wrong, character talk over was annoying. I didn't like the character. I thought, shut the hell up.
Also, is that arrow
Italy have just scored, by the way.
What was that game we played for free the other week, where the character was, I wanted to just kill him. It was Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah.
It just reminded me of that, but nicer version.
Yeah. Italy have just scored in injury time, 2-0.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't think this did it. I mean, the very first iconic dragon stuff and then it coming out of the water, I think everybody was totally impressed.
Yeah.
But then the actual gameplay of the 4 people trying to kill this thing just didn't look good. It was trying to shoot it with a bow and arrow, wasn't it?
It's the wrong thing to show in a demo, though, because...
Steve, it's funny you should say that, mate, because the actual Xbox man, top guy, said exactly that. He says what he thought, because obviously he's an insider, he designed the Xbox One, he knows a lot of crap. He came on and said exactly them kind of words to a point of, it looked like them guys, the developers, had been forced into showing that scene on that stage as an eye-opener, and it's kind of backfired.
Because it's hard to get to grips with knowing what they're playing with and what controlling they're doing. Well, we don't know none of that.
It's a shame.
It looks like it's the same with Final Fantasy.
If you cast your mind back to last year, the scene from last year would have sold me that game right there, right then.
Yeah.
Give me your money.
Bring it out, yeah.
This year, I want my money back, please. Can I have my money back?
It's
a shame. Talking of pre-order, Steve, if you haven't listened to the show this morning, Simpler Games are doing Battlefield 1 for $34.95.
Really?
Pre-order, mate. Yeah, and I've not ordered mine. I'm doing it, but you've got to be quick because it's only going for a day or so.
And also,
okay.
Yep.
We were talking about Skyrim.
Yeah.
You're going to get that for free on PC.
Yes, I've heard that. And you know what? When I read that, this just this brings my whole thing back.
Everyone's saying, why should we pay for a lesser version?
But the point is, you've always been playing a better version on PC.
I know.
So you're now going to pay for a version on console that's, well, I don't know. We're crossing old ground. Let's carry on.
No, I don't think that'd be the case.
Next thing was, for me, this was my second best game of the thing. And they come on, it's the old pirate game from Rare. Everybody was hoping. Rare's been hung out to dry for 10 years, slaughtered, one of the best developing companies ever in history of gaming. Microsoft took them and chucked them in the cellar and said, make us some avatars. Thank you very much. We'll see you in about 10 years' time. They've made the pirate game. What is that? Sea of Thieves, I've got written down. That's it. I like the clip they showed because what they showed was genuine gamers. They grabbed 4 gamers. No, I liked it. I know there was cheesy. I know there was all woo-woo-woo. But they got 4, and there was American, and we're not being nasty to Americans, but they can be a bit wooey-wooey. We know that. But they got these 4 guys. Obviously, had been given controllers because they said at the start these guys had never seen it, never played it, never been told what to do. They literally stuck them in this world and said, go.
Here they are 3 weeks later.
No, but this is why I liked it. Because that gave me a pirate world, which is a great world to be in, fun game, and it gave you the scenario of, it's go and do what you want to do. And that I like. It's the No Man's Sky mentality of, here's a controller, off you pop. I liked it. What's your guys' thoughts? When's this out? I've got no dates or anything.
It says, I think it was coming soon, wasn't it?
Oh, is that it? I thought this was due out really soon.
They talked about this last year, didn't they?
Yeah, this was first broke, but in fairness to last year, it was literally a splash screen. It was 10 seconds of, we finally got Rare off their arse and they're actually making a game for us, was basically what they said.
And I think it looks great.
Oh, it looks brilliant.
It reminds me of Fable-ish.
Oh, I don't know. It looks too, what I was going to say, it's Rare in a nutshell. It's the cartoony, famous Rare games of old. And it looks brilliant. It really does. So we're all in favour of Sea of Thieves.
I didn't like the video that they showed.
I thought it was just
pandering to the YouTube screaming crowd. And do
you know what? You are getting miserable in your old age.
In a way, but I'm seeing through all the bull crap. I'm sorry if it annoys some people listening to this, but I'm seeing through this slightly.
What are you seeing?
I don't know.
Yeah, but they're not making you buy it.
No, of course not. But I didn't think it looked that good.
But do you know if you was,
the video was just hyped up.
Do you know if you was Mr. Ricky, if you was Mr. Ricky Pie on YouTube earning 4 million a year, you wouldn't give a shit. Well, you wouldn't, would you?
Of course not.
So,
but I'm not.
You're not. And we can be bitter. We are bitter.
I really don't. I think you guys like the video and you like the look of it, but I just don't think it's a game that.
Do you know what I think?
I really don't.
I think you're trying to look at it too serious.
Yeah, maybe, but I just don't know. It's all about opinion.
Let's move on.
It interests me.
Okay. Next thing.
At the ready.
Where are we? Next thing, they showed another clip for a zombie game that I was wondering what it was. It looked pretty good. Looked pretty fun. Pretty brutal, chopping some heads off and stuff. I actually thought it was going to be like a rendition of a Walking Dead game, and I'm sat there thinking,
it was a Walking Dead.
I did. I thought this could be
been leaked.
I thought this could be a new Walking Dead, and then it came on and said State of Decay 2. Did you guys play State of Decay 1?
Yes,
Did you?
But not for much.
Yeah. I think
that's the thing, and
I think I might have been on
into that category again.
But this this actually looked better.
Oh, it looked good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not slating the game itself. I think it looked great. And I could have seen a Walking Dead tag on the end of it, no question.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was okay. Whether it's going to sell, I don't know. We'll see.
It will, because the other one was a massive hit.
So. There you go. Okay, the next. Oh, I'm choking. I'm dying. Next clip. This was a clip of Halo Wars 2, which they have said. Let's move straight to it. We've said it early. Still surprised February 2017 as a release date. That was a bit of a kick in the old kahunas. They showed a clip of the beta running, and brilliantly, one of these announcements that we don't get enough of at E3. We used to get these kind of things every year. This is go now, buy this, get this, do this. It's on the store now. Go play it. Well, the beta is here. It's here for a week. I'm gonna have to have a drink. Excuse me. It's here for a week. It's already downloaded. I will say that I downloaded it off Xbox.com, found it on my Xbox One, but had no play button on it. And I've noticed that happening with this new operating system as well. A couple of games have been a bit dodgy. And also, Steve, I don't know if you've had it. 2 apps I've tried on that new operating system, and both have crashed to desktop and refused to run. Twitch and Blinkbox are not running on that new operating system.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Bit of a shame, but we all know that's what you get into. So, thoughts on Halo Wars 2? This was a very funny game in the past. It got panned, it got slated. Not many people liked it. It had a bit of a cult following. I love these games. They're RTS kind of brilliant strategy games in a Halo fantasy world. This looked cool. Great clip. I'm going to enjoy playing this. What about you, boys?
I didn't play the first one, so I'll be looking forward to give it a try.
Do you like your RTSs, though? You know which kind they are, don't you? Build a base, get all your things together, then bugger off and go and kill the other base.
Partial to them. I'm not a great lover of them, but I'll give this a go.
The thing is, they're very hard to pull off with a controller.
Yeah, it's a PC.
Point and click was the way to go, but we know we're going to be getting keypad and mouse for the Xbox, so there you go.
Well, I'm actually, hopefully, when I've edited the show and floated it out, I'm actually going to jump on the Xbox and give that a bash tonight if it's working. I have played Doom this afternoon, the free demo that was announced at Bethesda. I got through the first level of Doom in about 20 minutes. Ricky's also played it because he's got the full game, and I thought it was okay. It's very twitchy, very fast.
He is very fast. Yeah,
but I will say it was okay. I enjoyed it. You get to play one level till you get outside, and then the end of the outside bit, the orange sandy bit. And I think I said to Ricky, it was okay. I enjoyed it. It's maybe not a game that I could see myself playing for much longer than I did. It was fun.
You did say to me that you got to get through the first
It does. It gets
hour,
yes. It gets better.
Really, really good.
Yes,
and
I've heard it.
And they gave you the first hour, or
Correct.
probably the first half hour, didn't they? Probably.
Yeah. I went through it pretty quick. I enjoyed it. It was. I tell you what, I didn't enjoy.
It's a one-trick pony.
It is,
but it does it really well.
Can I ask if you did this? You know, when you, I mean, like I say, you can't stand and scratch your nuts for a second, can you? You've got to be running about like a mental patient.
Yeah.
I never stopped. Listen, let me tell you now, in that game, I never stopped for a single second. I was running, jumping, and I pulled off some pretty cool moves, like jumping high up in the air, pressing the right stick down as I got near him, and punched him in the head and killed him.
Yeah, it's quite good. But it's happening so fast.
Do you know what annoyed me?
Take it all in, can you?
Really. You know, you're waiting for that super move when you've shot on the glow blue, the glow orange. You run in, right stick it. You know, because that right stick click is twitchy when you get excited playing a game. I was finding myself meleeing hell of a lot when I didn't mean to.
Yeah, before they went.
Was you doing it?
I was.
It's easy to do.
It is, and that was annoying at best. And if I played that for a few hours, I think it'd drive me mental. Anyway, moving on. Halo Wars, don't forget, guys, it is free for a week. Go and try it. Phil Spencer came back on the thing, and here we go. Because he was closing the show with the big news yet again, leaked, that we all knew. It was a nice thing. I didn't write these down because he was speaking too fast, but it is available online. I don't know if any of you guys grabbed it. It's obviously the new console, the Scorpio. They really made a point, and this was talked after show stuff again. They made a point that every bit of stuff is going to work backwards. All hardware works with everything. Obviously, an Xbox Scorpio game is not going to run in your Xbox One. That's logical. Don't think that for a second. And also people are saying, which is the same with all iterations like this, within 12 months to a year, your Xbox One will be faded out without question. So don't think it won't, because it will. History proves it so.
So it's out 20.
This was right. This is we're going to have big contentious issues, and we'll all have us pieces on this because I've got quite a bit on this. They did talk about. I just want to throw into this with this new console. He really went to town on saying it's powerful, 6 teraflops and all this. And I just want to add, I've had a PC guy talk to me this evening who's my friend, who's an expert PC guy. Believe me, I don't know anybody that knows as much about PCs as anybody. He actually backed up some figures to say that all this technical babble that 99% of us just don't understand, he quoted me his PCs that he's had over the last few years, and it's right up there. And let me just tell you that he buys the latest equipment. I think he's just bought the two cards of that latest graphics card that's just come out.
Yeah, the X10.
That's it. So he's way up. He knows all his shit. So he's told me that the specs that this new machine's been thrown at are really, really, really good. Very good, in fact.
I love the word teraflop.
I do. It's a mad word. But anyway.
Makes it sound amazing, doesn't it?
Isn't it?
The thing for me, though, at the end of all this, and we'll get us discussion, holiday 2017. So we're talking 18 months away.
Yeah, this is basically November, isn't it?
Well, this is it. It's holiday. It's November.
It's December.
It's 18 months away, basically. So this is my point. And this is my thoughts. Right. Why mention it is and we'll cross this bridge in a second. Why mention it? He came up with the excuse, if you can call it that. We're bringing this out news today so our developers can get ready for it. Well, that's bullshit, we're calling straight away, because they've never done it before like this with hardware. Developers know this stuff anyway. They'll have dev kits for this machine right now. They've had it for months on end. So that I don't buy. I think it's just...
Maybe they just want to come out guns blazing for a change.
Steve, this is it. It's I didn't like the way he stated it's for developers when it's clearly a marketing ploy.
As we said, I mean, we know developers will already be looking at it already, even probably 6 months ago.
Steve, they'll have development kits now, probably for 8 months ago.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever.
So what I want to do, we'll cover the whole show in a minute. I want to just cover this a bit more because we spoke a little bit off air, and I want to get this across because I want your guys' views. And I was sold on the S. When it's opened the show, I was sold. I was done. It's got 4K. How? God knows. One of you guys out there will tell.
Can I just say something? I've just had an email from Xavi.
Yeah.
Saying about pre-ordering this.
Oh, go on.
And what it says is introducing the new Xbox S. Play the greatest games lineup, including the Xbox 360 Classics, 40% smaller, blah, blah, blah. It says here that video with a full dynamic range technology, stream 4K video on Netflix and Amazon Video.
There you go.
And watch Ultra HD Blu-ray movies in 4K. So you have a 4K drive in
again, I'll go back to the top of the show. How are they doing this? If they're trying to sell us these new snazzy machines to push 4K, especially Sony are doing, they're saying it's 4K because, we want to show you 4K. So how come this new S machine is? It's a bit weird. And I know
that technology they're going to bring up now.
I know that some of you guys out there are way into this, and I appreciate if you want to send me messages and explain it to me, I will gladly appreciate it. I really would, because I'm not up to this and none of us are, but it just seems a bit of a strange one, because it brings me to what I want to cover to get your guys' views. Who on God's green earth is going to buy that lovely looking S that's out in a couple of months?
Someone that can afford it.
No, we're not going to... No, Steve, that's not the way to look at it, mate.
And new people to Xbox.
Why would you?
Well, because...
Well, say if
people are in the market for it.
Listen.
Say it's the PlayStation guys and you got the PlayStation, you think, well, do you know what? I might dip in now.
But let me ask you a question then. This is me being a bit negative, I guess, but it's just the way I see it. I like the thing. I want it crystal clear. I like it. I would like one under my TV. But if push come to shove, I wouldn't buy one, because they've just gone on stage an hour later and told me if you hang on a year, you're going to have the most super console ever.
Maybe from what you're saying, from what's being said about maybe the spec of this machine, the price range is going to be a bit high to the person.
I can tell you now that new machine's going to be close to 450 to 500 quid.
Yeah, well, this other one will be...
Well, we know the price. I've gave it at the top of the show. It ranges from
to save up.
It ranges from 250 to think. But what you're missing another point, which just makes me, and I want to swear and all, but I'm not going to. It makes all this a cluster, in my opinion, because you've got the Xbox One. You're going to have the S. You're going to have this super machine. It just is a mess, and I don't get it. And let me tell you now...
What if Sony would have done it, though?
Steve, let me finish my sentence. Let me finish my sentence. Well, I've said it. You can go back on the shows previously. I've said exactly the same for Sony. It's unnecessary.
From
your point was a good one.
Yeah, I agree that marketing it doesn't make sense.
Not at all.
For some reason, I don't know why, but it doesn't. Because you think, hold back, we'll get everyone to buy this one, then buy that one. That's the way marketing works, isn't it?
What I can't... Do you know if they'd come on this stage today and never mentioned the Slim and mentioned Scorpio, right? And this is why I can't understand how they've done it this way. Don't mention the Slim at all. It's not a skew. We mention the Scorpio. Everybody's going to sit here and say, 18 months' time, I'm going to get a brand new machine. Yeah, I might be in the market for that because I've got nearly 2 years to wait for it. That sounds about right. Or... don't even mention the Scorpio, but we know it got leaked, so it's impossible. But let's pretend it never got leaked. You don't mention that at all, but you bring out the S. That could be a bit of dirty marketing, because in a year and a half's time, they're now going to tell you a new machine, which is then everybody turn around and say, well, you've screwed me twice now.
Yeah. Do you think, now this is just in brackets,
come on,
will, say, the Oculus work on the new S?
No. It'll work on that new machine, because that's what, at the bottom of my notes, they mentioned that Fallout 4 that we talked about. Yeah,
this is what I was going to say. Todd said this, and whether it was the way it was mentioned deliberately or not, I don't know, but he said about Fallout 4 coming to console via Oculus or something like that. The
Fallout 4 Oculus that we spoke about in the show this morning will work on that new machine next year. They said that.
Regardless of thinking how much it's going to cost.
This again, but Steve, again... it just makes you think, why on earth would anybody buy the damn S in August? And it's such a shame, because it's a lovely looking console.
If they brought them out together at the same time, they would say, look, we've got this one here and we've got this one here.
Do you know what I'm surprised they haven't done? When they've mentioned this S and they mentioned the Scorpio, I'm very, very, very surprised that in the same thing, they didn't bring out a drop-in price for the original Xbox One. That would have made more sense. You know, to keep that
that may come, wouldn't it?
Again, if you're doing your marketing, shouldn't you be saying that at this point in time?
Because it didn't have a price drop just recently.
It did, but how many people know about that? Not many. To me, it's a crazy marketing ploy that they're all trying. It really is.
The one thing that I don't know if you guys are missing the point here. This new machine signals the end of this generation.
You said that before,
in my opinion.
Yeah.
4 years. 4 years to the day, I reckon it will. And good thing is, everything behind me will work on the new one, so I'm happy about that. Okay?
Yeah, backwards compact in a proper version. Yeah.
I mean, imagine
Well, it's the shortest console lane of it's going to be, isn't it?
We'll work on the new one. Yeah, so I mean, PlayStation will follow suit.
Right.
There'll be a new PlayStation next year.
I was going to
guarantee now.
I was going to say and finish this, and we'll do a roundup.
They won't want to be left behind.
This is my point exactly. Tonight, I don't think they are going to mention it at all now, and do you know why? Because I think they're in a very sticky situation. Because their 4.5 is not going to be good enough or powerful enough if that's what they want to do to compete with this. So now you just put yourself in Sony's position. They're sat now thinking, and I've got a funny feeling, me being
16
right. Listen, but what I'm thinking, I think this is me being skeptical. You know, when they've suddenly announced and said, "Oh, we're not showing it at the E3." Do you think me being a bit skeptical is thinking they're not showing it at E3 because they're now busy changing it? Because they've now got a year, they can put that on the back burner now. And think, whoa, let's back up a minute. Right,
well, isn't there a Sony convention sort of October?
It's the big one, Tokyo Game Show. It's the biggest show for them.
I bet they'll have had 6 months or 3 or 4 months to put a design tech in place.
You know
then again, I mean, they can't bring it. I mean, if they haven't got it on the table now,
no, but this
they
is
won't
the
have
point.
any games ready for it.
But this is the point, Ricky. The point is, mate, by all intents and purposes, this was due out now.
So my prediction here is November 2017.
Both of them.
The gaming market flips back to Xbox again.
You're being very brave.
I am, because I think Xbox are now first at the table on the new machine.
This is what I think it's a brilliant move, by the way. I don't like the marketing of it. I don't think it's a nice selling point. I think it's awful, and I've said it about both machines. However, as a gamer, as a person that it's appealing to, I honestly think it's a great move for us, because it now puts the ball in Sony's court to say, what are you going to do? Because now Microsoft have turned around and slapped you up the arse and said, have that one. And it's a good thing for us. We like that. I'm not being negative for it from that point of view, because as gamers, I think we all know about competitiveness. Competitiveness does us favours. When there's a war, when everybody's having a war, we're the people that benefit. But anyway, that's the consoles. That's my views on it. I've got to say, I don't like the marketing ploy of it. I think it's a very weird thing they've done. I like the S. I would have bought one, but I ain't paying that kind of money. I will throw it to you guys now. Final thoughts on the whole show, and if you want to chuck a score out, we normally do it as a bit of fun. Ricky, give me your thoughts on the entire show. What was your basics and what was your scores and how you are feeling?
I like the look of the new hardware. I wasn't that impressed with gaming from them this year. Game of the show was that new one. Were we happy for you?
The Bioshocky looky.
Probably a 6.5, 7. I don't think I was a bit underwhelmed by it all.
So you're 6.5, 7.
A little bit, unfortunately, yeah.
Steve, what about you?
7 out of 10. Definitely that Bioshock looking game for me is game of the show for me. Really is. There's a couple of things that weren't announced, maybe. Who knows?
Crackdown 3 is very disappointing. Not to say, at the top of the show.
We'll wait for Gamescom for that and go from there, really.
You know, when you say we wait for Gamescom, why? We've got E3. It is the actual video games convention.
Yeah, because they like to hang it out a bit. I mean, they've announced a few things for later in the year.
It drives me mad.
For next year as well. So,
anyway.
There's about 20 plus games. There's about 20 games they announced there, so that's not bad.
My views, I'm pretty on par with Ricky, actually. I have to say, I think I was tweeting to Steve near the end of the show, and I will say that if they wouldn't have brought the news out for the new console at the end, which got everybody's interest up, and I thought, yeah, you've been brave, you've shown us a really good, powerful machine that's going to really open the market, like I've just said. Before that, I was sat there thinking, God, that is a pretty poor show. You've shown games that we knew was coming. You've not wowed us with a big blast of, some really big secret. The S was brilliant at the opening. I thought it was a great opening. But since having found the price points of all them SKUs and the marketing behind it, I'm kind of, as I've said already, I'm a bit weird. What's it all about? I'd like one purely for room purposes. I wouldn't buy one for the price point. And I don't see the point in buying one because they're bringing out a NASA machine next year.
Which will be on my radar.
Right, I was going to come to that to end the show. My score, 6 out of 10. I thought the gaming is what it's all about. We knew about both hardwares that were coming. They delivered them very nicely, although, like I said, marketing is a bit weird. So 6 out of 10 for me, because I like games. We only saw did we see one fresh IP? And that was one of the best. And that's it. And if you narrow that down to one new IP for the entire E3 conference, you cannot be nothing but disappointed. Because it's a games convention to sell gamers games, new games, for the upcoming next 18 months.
It's not strictly games, is it? It's
well, it is. Video games conference.
It's hardware.
Video game conference. So, you know, it's a video game conference.
Yeah, there was 20 games there, though. I counted them. So
is that what it was? But again, Steve, only one new IP, I think, we're addressing, which is not good.
Recall was there. That's another one.
Say again.
Recall was a new IP.
Yeah, but Recall's been shown before, mate.
Yeah, but that was only just mentioned. It wasn't even...
No, but what we're saying is a brand new IP on stage is a game that we have never seen or heard of. And we happy few. But anyway, it was interesting. I was expecting a little bit more, I've got to say. But I do like the new hardware. I love the white console. It's just a shame I won't buy one.
Not till 2017.
Well, the question is, the new machine then, guys, are we going to be buying that? Are we going to be saving us pretty pennies for that in 18 months' time?
As it currently stands, yes. But
Steve?
we wait till tomorrow morning.
We do.
Wait for a year. Give me a year, in a year's time, I tell you.
Well, you've got 18 months to start saving, mate. It's a long time.
Oh, I know that. I know.
You know what I mean? Me, personally, I'm with Ricky again. I obviously, eyes are open for it. You can't help it. We are geeks. We are techies. It's going to be 18 months. It's going to be the new machine. I'm with Ricky, though. I can't wait to see what Sony are now going to do. And talking of that, we will return tomorrow. Slight change of plans to the show, guys. There is slight changes. There is only going to be me and Ricky tomorrow because we're planning to record very early in the morning because Ricky's got problems with the evening shift. So we thought it best, with us being PS4 owners, we'll knock that out tomorrow. Hayden and Steve will return on Sunday's show. They will give their full views on the Sony. Well, they will get the time on their own. They'll have time to digest it all or rip it apart.
That's all for the Destiny chat, that'd be.
There we go. It's going to be good. So join us next time. Please leave us feedback about these shows. We never get...
drop onto iTunes as well.
Go onto iTunes. Leave us a review if you've not done it.
Get us in the top 1,000.
No, we actually was into the top 100 again for some time. But I do also want to mention, now you've said that, last week's show, guys, the main show, broke records again. So you guys, massive, massive thanks. So if you do keep listening, drop us a iTunes review. Leave us some feedback, either on Facebook, give us a nudge, say great, whatever. We like that. We very rarely get that. We get negative. We get a lot of negative, but that's just human traits.
Which we don't mind.
No, we don't. I have always said, guys, and I've had a couple this week, if you want to give feedback in a nice, polite manner, I don't mind that at all. This is what keeps this show going over 10 years.
Ironically, I take feedback from this more... I take it more on board and moving forward than I do from my boss, who pays me my salary.
This is it.
When he talks about, you
do, and it's kind of a mental thing. I've done this for 10 years, and you do.
You won't listen to this, I hope.
At the beginning, I got really hurt with personal stuff, but you do get hard-skinned and you learn to it. But like I say, it's a human trait. People very rarely go out the way to praise, but they very quickly jump on board to be negative. And that's good. It is. Anyway, it's all good. We're doing well. The show's brilliant. We're still enjoying it after 10 crazy years. We will be back tomorrow. So thanks, Ricky and Steve, for giving the times up in these E3s. It is a mad schedule.
No worries. Thanks.
Thank you, guys. And so I hope you've enjoyed it. About an hour and a half, this one again. About spot on. So until tomorrow night, or tomorrow sometime, until we bring the Sony show, hope you've enjoyed it. Keep listening. Bye for now. Bye.
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 Inside my room, it's like someone presses buttons and all I see is you. It's like the tender demolition of a matchstick man when the air is unconditioned by a plastic fan.